My name is Chris Claremont. You're watching Omni X-Men.
Yeah, suckers, it's time. It is Tuesday. We are back. Omni X-Men is here, and I have a giant apocalypse statue right here. Look at the size of that thing. It's bigger than the slab for his first appearance. It's enormous, and I was super pumped. My LCS had that in the shop today, and I was like, I'm taking that. I'm taking that. But that's not all. We're here to talk about a really important issue tonight, issue 164. We got a guest who's just been whining and complaining and begging and cajoling and bribing to get on this show. I never really knew him before, so it was kind of like I don't know if I trust this guy. So I had to ask my partner in crime, Justin. Hey,
you know, there's definitely a lot of bribing going on. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, do what you got to do. I don't know, John. I am excited to be here. I wanted to show you real quick. Today, I went to my LCS a day early. So I won't be around.
Let's get this a little bigger here. Yeah,
I found a couple gems.
Yeah,
I did all the ones that we've been reading and breaking down. Really excited for this. So like $3. And then they didn't have this one, but they did have 65. They didn't have 64, but I figured I didn't have this one, so I figured why not get this one into PC. So yeah, nice. Man. But I am pumped to talk about 164. Definitely looking forward to hearing your thoughts and our guests as you described as well.
Biggest Cyclops fan I know. Super happy he's here. As a reminder, if you're new to the Omni X-Men, this is a weekly show that Justin and I do. We alternate between our channels, and we're going through all the Claremont issues of Uncanny X-Men. Yep. We're on our third omnibus. Woo, the size of these things. And we just basically go through, discuss them, enjoy them, make fun of them, and just really have a good time. And then at the end of the season, give away a bunch of stuff. And then lather, rinse, repeat.
Yep.
We're back again.
Exactly.
So follow Justin. The links to his social media, his YouTube channel, what will be next week. It's all down below, including the information for our guest, the biggest Cyclops fan I know. What is up, JP?
Hey. So, just for the record, it only took 3 seasons and me agreeing to do 27 episodes of Black Hammer on the indie show to get John to let me do one episode. One episode of Omni, and when I asked, I was like, "Can I do 2?" He was like, "No, no one gets 2 this season." And then every guest that's been on has been like, "Oh, I'm coming back for this one."
And they're coming back later. Yeah.
So So, but I got at least one. I got one episode.
John, I think he's on to us.
Yeah. This is uncomfortable.
I had to have you on my channel 50 times to get invited to the show. So
you just keep playing your cards right, JP. We'll make things happen.
The good news is you got a key issue that you clearly enjoy. Let's take a look at that bad boy.
Yeah. So I don't know where Chet's at. So
very nice.
Chet. If Chedai Knight's in the chat, he better take a look. That's a 9/8 white pages signed by Claremont. Look at that beauty.
Yeah.
Holy guacamole.
Very nice.
Impressive. So again, the links, JP's links are down below. Definitely subscribe. He's got a bigger YouTube channel than any of us. The guy's big time. He's big time.
He is not.
Well, before we get into this too much, let's check in the chat. Say hello to some friends. And we got Rob Boswell tailgating number 1 here, as far as my chat says. We got Perry. They're laughing at something. I don't know if it's us, but
I think my comment might have still been up there when they did that.
Oh, was it? Did I miss it? Sorry.
Yeah. No, YouTube deleted it.
Oh, good. That's what we pay him for.
Good.
What is up, Krista Simon? Good to see you. And you are here on time.
All right.
Candace is back. What is going on, Candace? Good to see you.
Hey, Candace.
Jay Hit says, in this very special episode, JP reveals his true feelings about Cyclops.
Yep.
Facts. What is up, Big Daddy Ross? John, how you doing?
What's up, John?
JP says, only 30 seconds late, right?
No, that only he said I'd reveal my true feelings. I said
it'll only take that. That's a speedy thing. Okay.
Only take 30 seconds.
What's up, Kevin? Entropy in Comics, local buddy. How's it going?
Right. What's up, Kev?
The Jackson Roy Kirk, always in the chat, always representing. Much appreciated.
Yes.
Joel the Geek, he's going to be on in about 3-4 weeks. Good to see you, Joel.
Yep.
Jackson Roy Kirk says, I sent a JP a Cyclops visor. He sent it back, postage due, I might add. What is going on? Chet says, oh my God. There you go. Yeah. I don't know. He still hasn't said his book in the chat, so I'm assuming Raw with corner dings, and signed by himself.
Yeah, probably.
What's up, Kenneth Bird? Good to see you guys all here in the chat.
Kenneth.
7.
Whoa.
Good
Matt,
to see you,
Matt is here to collect his 1 point later today. That's what he's here to scoop it up and win something big at the end, like he did before.
That's the way he does.
He's very wise. He's very wise.
He knows how to play it. Yeah.
Gets his one and then he's out.
What's going on, Albert? He and I were in Morbius's chat earlier tonight, firing off comments. Good to see you, sir.
Triggering people.
Well, so to Justin's point, we do a lot of giveaways on this show. So if you guys don't know how that works, it's very easy. Stick around to the end. We do trivia. We're looking for 2 correct answers and a funny answer according to JP. It's going to be pretty easy to make him laugh tonight. Shoot some shots at our one-eyed friend.
No, I'm going to require some creativity. We're in a straight Cyclops sucks. It's not going to get it done tonight.
So you don't even need to know the correct answers. If you did watch last week's show and we had Daryl read your comics on, then that would obviously help. If you've read issue 163, also that would help. But even if you haven't, you can still make us laugh, still make JP laugh, and get on the list so that at the end of the year, when we roll into June and we give away a ton of stuff, you can win something cool. So stick around. So Justin, do you want to launch into a question for our newly joined guest here, JP?
Yeah. Let's kick it off with my question for you first, JP, is out of all the different story arcs and things that you might have read in the past, what is your favorite X-Men or mutant related story arc that comes to mind? So
my personal favorite is a fairly recent one. I'm going to give you guys two answers to this.
All right.
Because it's not strictly it's not a straight X-Men, but it is like this Tom Taylor, Omni Wolverine.
Yes.
It was one of the first things I read when I got back into comics a few years ago. Like it was still coming out at that point, but it hooked me right back in. I didn't know anything about Laura before that. She's become one of my favorite X-Men characters, and
Gabby and
favorite, Gabby and
Tom Taylor, my man.
It's all of it. And that's awesome. It's just so good. I love that run. But in terms of an X-Men story, it's actually a book you guys are getting ready to do, but somebody had claimed before we talked about the show. And it is the first X-Men story I remember. And it is 170, Storm versus Callisto.
Oh. And I can picture the cover.
Yeah, the one where they're fighting, and then Storm takes control of the Morlock. I remember that story. I remember reading it at the little spinner rack in the grocery store when I was a kid. And that was a story that made me like the X-Men, made me like Storm. I just remember, to this day, I can remember reading that book. I don't know if it's the first one I read. It's the first one I remember reading as first X-Men story I remember.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And always going to stay with you there.
Yeah.
I've never read that. So that's, I know like you said, we're coming.
Somebody had already claimed it by the time it got around to me. So I took this instead, but yeah.
Awesome. Boywood 7 recently posted, I think, his omnibus, that same one on his Instagram. So obviously, also a very big fan.
Yeah, I got to read more of that. I read with Haley the first 6 issues or whatever, and just loved it. I just haven't had time, but that's a nice omnibus too. I should probably get the omnibus. It's probably
it's a fun one to read. Yeah. Did you want me to do the second question, or do you want?
Yeah, go for it, John.
Okay, JP, you could pick one superhero mutant character and take their power as yours. Which power are you taking?
One superhero mutant character's power.
And besides Angel, obviously.
And wait, Angel has powers? That is tough. I love the idea of Kitty's power, but I don't think it would actually be in use. I don't know that it would be that fun. You know what I mean? I love the idea of it. I don't think it would be that fun. I think give me the ability to control the weather.
Omega.
Yeah, give me the ability to control the weather. Give me storage powers. It's always the weather I want it to be. I can make it rain at John's house every day.
There you go. Yeah.
You don't have the hair for Storm.
I don't have the hair. I don't have any of the quality of Storm.
I'm now just picturing you with flowing white hair right now. That's what I'm really thinking.
I just want, it's always going to be 65 and sunny wherever I am, and everybody else can deal with the consequences.
Yeah.
What that does to global weather.
I just picture John everywhere he walks is a little cloud over John's head. It's just raining.
Over John all the time.
Yeah, it's like Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
Krista makes a great point. Yeah, Storm and Callisto fight a lot, and in the Marauder Massacre stuff that goes later, that is the story arc where Angel.
So that's the later one.
Yeah, but that's a later one in the.
That's the later one.
It's like 210 through 213. It's in that.
What I love about the one is Storm making the decision, like Nightcrawler trying to talk, like I can fight for you, and she's like, no, I'm the leader. Yeah. And then even though she's made this other choice, she does what she has to protect Angel and sort of and then the whole scene where she throws the knife to her and she like catches it and like flips it around in her hand and it's like yeah.
Awesome. Great picks. Nice. Great picks. All right, so tonight we're here for issue 164. So let's bring up the slideshow and take a look here and get your thoughts on this cover. Justin, I want to hear. I'm going to let you sing some praises here first because holy cow.
Yeah, what a terrible cover. No, I love this cover. Yeah, I feel like this is one of the last covers that we get for a while, at least from what I remember. I'm sure there's a couple others like still coming up, but for the most part, I feel like these are one of the last like epic covers that that stand out to me, that I remember, that I recognize, even not, I never read this issue up until, this week. I just feel like the artwork is so strong and obviously represents. Getting into this, not knowing X-Men and just got seeing these covers, I would think that it was Phoenix somehow, or wasn't sure what was happening or what was going on until I started seeing the first appearance of and all that other stuff. But yeah, definitely an iconic cover. Just love the details of it. Love the team behind her. Just like peeking out, like, whoa, like what's going on? Like what's happening there? So really, really well done. And this is certainly, I think, an issue worth getting a 9/8 signed by Claremont. So nice move by you, JP, for sure.
Yeah, one of the few X-Men books I actually have.
All right, well then, JP, what was it that made you get this one this way?
Oh well, I am obviously, in addition to being an X-Men fan, I'm a big Carol Danvers fan. So like that was part of it. So but yeah, and this design and of her character, I think it's maybe the best design. It's close to, I would argue current design is really, really good, but this design, I love this design way more than like the black swimsuit, with the yellow, with the lightning bolt or anything like that. And I think it's just a very dramatic and powerful image. And I just love the image. They recently brought back a version and with this like Dodderman cover, and it's just like
it's so cool.
It's just such in an era where every other issue we got a horrendous sprite design for a costume. Like they actually got a design right, and
he's already taking shots at Kitty too.
Hey, I love Kitty, but it's just. Like where this year costume design was not great whenever they put them in something new a lot of the time. Right. And this is just a fabulous design for me. So yeah, this cover is awesome.
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys say, and love the background, the solar system stuff, the heroes in the background. Everything about it works. It's an eye-popping, I need to see this book, I need to read it, grab it cover, and it's just top flight. Top flight.
One flaw. They did put Cyclops on it. If they'd got rid of him, then it would have been better. But
you put Wolverine there because there's no Wolverine. Right?
Yeah.
He's kind of big in this issue.
Yeah, Wolverine should have been in that spot.
Yeah, I do. I think some great color work and her eyes. Yes, look up her eyes. All right, so let's dive into the issue where we're battling in outer space. We're left off with our heroes being chased by the Brood like warships, and Lilandra had rescued our mutant characters while they're in the middle of battling the Queen Brood, and now they're rocketing their way to escape. However, this isn't going really well. There's a ton of fighter ships chasing them. The Queen Brood has ordered her Brood warriors not to kill anybody except Wolverine. She said, you can just kill him because apparently he has survived the brood egg inside of him somehow and killed it. So she views him as a threat. Kill him. Everybody else, I want them taken alive and just get them. I gotta say, for me though, it's all about this splash page. Justin, when you looked at that, come on.
Yes.
You had to geek on this, right?
Oh, absolutely. This is any sci-fi type, movie, that I just picture when I see something like this, and to see it soaring, across the page the way it is, like, very, very epic. And, I like the floating heads kind of introducing the characters again.
Right.
And then, I like the clarity that he's like, don't kill any of them. They all have our seed essentially in them, the baby aliens that they'll essentially turn into, except Wolverine. We can. They already know how dangerous he is. Yeah,
right. From the previous issues. Yeah,
exactly. So I like the clarity there.
We also got Chris Boston Comics in the chat.
Hey.
I am trying to make enough shorts to convince Chris to get back into reading a little X-Men on the sly. So thank you for coming by, Chris.
Nice.
There you
go. JP. The cosmic background here kind of slays on this.
Oh, it's amazing. It's so well done. It's just really, just a great, like you said, great splash page. I will say there's one like really bad aspect to it is what is going on with Kitty's head bubble.
She's headbutting the planet below.
She's like turned and like where you can barely see part of her face, and it looks weird even when you can see.
I did not notice that.
Her eyebrow was like, I was just looking down. I'm like, what is going on in the corner?
What's Kitty doing? Her head fell over.
Like everyone else is at least partially kind of looking at the camera,
Right.
Her face is like completely one.
Like it's just like you can barely see like the corner of her eye, and she's got like the biggest eyebrow like known to man, and it's just like it's really weird. But otherwise, that page is amazing, and I'll say even I loved on the next page the shark ships.
Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at the shark ships.
Yeah.
So they're zigzagging, and you meant the page directly.
Yeah, the direct page,
sorry.
like the little great white spaceships.
Gotcha.
So great.
Let's see here. It does have a similar 101 splash, and there's some similarities between the Birth of Phoenix and the Birth of Binary. Those things definitely have a little crossover for sure. Yeah. He's getting Sins of Sinister. There's my man. Hopefully you enjoy it. I haven't read it yet. I got it, but I haven't read it yet. Let's see. Wolverine sitting back. Drinking a sleazoid brew, 15% alcohol and other questionable ingredients. So as a reminder, Wolverine is the only one aware that they've been sort of impregnated by the brood. And so at this point, he's still keeping that a secret. Inside the ship, we've got issues because apparently, as Lilandra calls it, this is a pleasure craft. It's not a warship.
Pleasure.
So I had to include the love boat there. So she's like, we're not really designed for fighting. It's a pleasure craft. Yeah. So then the X-Men are like, okay, we got to solve this. So they instantly spread out across the ship. Wolverine and Carol and Colossus are like, let's try to use any tools we have on this ship to fight back. Carol Danvers, military background. She's like, I'm ready for this. Peter, on the other hand, is like, wait, we're not killers, right? Like we're not doing this. Wolverine, we know from the previous issues, has his blood up, and he's like, no, these guys got to die. We're going to kill all of them. So there is this kind of like, are we going to kill or not going to kill? Are these things like worthy of just being murdered, or are we going to try to like just protect ourselves? So that debate of pacifism is happening here in a big way. JP, where do you fall in the debate?
You mean just in terms of the brood or just in general?
If you were on the ship right now, are you on Peter's side? You're on Wolverine's side.
Yeah, if they said you got to kill these brood.
So if I knew what Wolverine knew, I think I'd be on Wolverine's side because he feels like they've already killed his friends, even though they're not.
Right.
They're still there.
Right.
And he doesn't know what to do. So like in this particular situation, I'm probably on Wolverine's side, but I totally get like Colossus going from wait, this isn't what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So I get where Wolverine's coming from, but I do think Colossus is more in tune of where the X-Men try to be and what they try to do going forward. And he's trying to like understand, like he's definitely confused by Logan's attitude in this moment, even though we know Logan is always kind of, Kill, okay, sure, I won't kill. He's always walked that line anyway, but
right. Which is a Magneto Xavier kind of headbutting line, right? In some ways.
Yeah.
Justin, any thoughts on the pacifism versus, I guess you'd say, realism in some ways of Wolverine?
Yeah, so I think that not only this issue, probably most issues that we've read here and broke down throughout the years could be resolved with some sort of X-Men therapist of some sort that really had the team sit down and communicate, because it's just communication issues, really. Wolverine's
Three's Company. They're the Three's Company of comic books.
Totally. And it can be frustrating sometimes because, like, I get it. If you're in Wolverine's head, you're like, yeah, these guys are already dead. So, and he knows how dangerous they are. They're only there to kill his friends and to grow and whatever. So yeah, of course he's like so easy to, I mean, he's already for killing in general, but like, he's like, hey, we got to kill. Meanwhile, Peter, and we see others, later in this issue that struggle with that too, of the idea of killing. If I think it'd be a little different if, as JP said, if Wolverine just had shared, a little bit more detail, which, I know we kind of get to later, but a lot of it, it's interesting to see the struggle that a majority of the team has. And yeah, putting myself in the shoes of Peter, I too would kind of question it and be like, well, hang on, like they're another living form. We don't really, I mean, we don't know for sure. I mean, they don't look pleasant or nice or friendly, but I haven't seen them kill yet, per se, although they are shooting at a ship right now. I guess that would be the one hint.
They're trying to kill us, but
But yeah. Also, I did do the double take on the love, or what do you call it? The pleasure craft. I'm like, is it like a cat house of like in space or something?
Hugh Hefner brand.
I will say though,
shark bat repellent would have been good, right? Chris, I agree with that.
I do love that we're talking about the contrast between Logan and Colossus and Pietro here, but I love where Carol's in the background with like a grin. It's like, got him.
Yeah, right. She's right back in her Air Force days of like, I'm gonna blow these things up.
Blast away. Right?
It's like a video game.
There's none of this debate going on with her.
No.
And I will say, JP's going to like it a lot later, because for me, I feel like, to Justin's point, this is an attitude reflects leadership quality for me. And the flaws in Cyclops' style of leadership are kind of creating this a little bit, in that he is somebody that's often like keeping secrets and being off by himself and pushing back. And so Wolverine's definitely in the same mode. Right.
Yeah.
And that's partly why they're butting heads a little bit in this issue.
Yeah.
That's just me. Yeah. What is up, Hip Hops and me in the chat? What is going on? Good to see you, sir.
It's funny that you use the word Cyclops in leadership, but that's okay.
I mean, it's kind of, the issues right now, right? All right. So then we have Cyclops, and he's thinking. He's got deep thoughts there. He's like, okay, something's going on. They don't seem to be wanting to kill us. Wolverine's keeping a secret. I'm not going to deal with any of this. Hey, cool. Somebody made a little shield that I can shoot through. I don't know where it came from, but I'm going to go for it. And you got Storm, and Storm's like, I don't know if I should kill these things. Should I kill these things? Screw it. I'm killing these things. She's all John Wick out there going for it. And so you see this battle happening. Then the Brood hit the ship, direct hit, and they start having issues with the controls and their warp drive. So somebody needs to go EVA, extravehicular activity, go outside in a spacesuit and fix the ship. Yeah. Who's it going to be? The teenager.
The one that has no training.
No fashion.
Yeah, I like these pages, but there's some leaps of faith here, right? Justin, how'd you feel about these pages?
Yeah, well, first, I really like the Ruby Quartz random window that's there. It's definitely a random thing that
you gotta have it if you hang out with the X-Men. You need one.
Yeah,
of
I love how he's just like, well, incredible! They just have this.
So just lucky.
Take his glasses off and just start testing it out. Like, just look forward and not hurt anything. Yeah, he should have that installed in every window of his house and car and everything when he goes home, just so he has the ability to control it. Yeah. Also, we get some really cool action scenes with the shark ships, like with the beams and the lightning bolts coming. Yeah. I guess some of it's shooting it from them, but then some of it's from Storm. But either
sharks with freaking lasers.
Yes, exactly. And then a little bit of a little bit of a reach for sending Kitty out there, but hey, in these times, I guess you do what you got to do, right?
Right. Her theory being, of course, that she can phase any lasers that are coming at her faster than the laser would hit her. I love it. I love all of it.
Yeah. And do we know how long this green outfit lasts? Is this like a one-off?
I don't know. Probably just this one issue, right?
Just,
first and last appearance.
Kitty's
got some fashion sense for Kitty's back again, right? Look at the beam through the window, right? He's just blasting away. JP, any thoughts on these pages before we go on here?
No, I think they're good. And again, you see, like you said, well, in addition to the just weird, he's got a ruby quartz bubble that he just happens to stumble across. Like Storm, you see Storm going through kind of the same thing as Pietro, where there's like, I'm not going to kill him, I'm going to try to stun him, and then she's like, and she's even kind of upset that she feels like she blasted him too hard or whatever.
Yeah.
And like, so you see that struggle, and then this starts with laser beams. Come on, I can't believe that's not one of the memes here, John.
Yeah, I was too busy having fun with Cyclops, just like thinking,
I will say
thinking in space.
The two characters you have to represent Cyclops are about appropriate.
When John Wick is there for Storm, so
yes, John Wick is definitely there for Storm. So.
What's up, Bobby DeLeghetto in the chat? Good to see you, sir. Bobby. Cheers to you. All right, well let's continue on here. The next page is she goes EVA and goes to try to take care of stuff. Meanwhile, Carol's feeling things. She's like, I don't know what's going on. Feel a little sick. This is not the way I normally feel. Kitty is dodging blasters. She's digging down inside the ship, trying to fix things. Storm's got an upset stomach. She doesn't know what's going on. Everybody's feeling a little topsy-turvy. And there's a great Star Wars reference from Kitty where she's like, Star Wars isn't like this. So I had to include little Bill Murray singing Star Wars there. So what are your thoughts on these pages here, Justin?
So interesting to see she's starting to feel the effects, which I was wondering if that was going to happen at some point. Up until all this action was happening, she seemed, okay. I like the laser beam shooting through Kitty the way that we see it there at the bottom left-hand corner. Right. They get a little bit of a piece of that. But yeah, just carrying on the story. And we also get Cyclops. He's using that glass, that ruby quartz massive window, and it's working out for him. So also interesting how the panel layout is. This was on the far panels there. Definitely different
that too.
Yeah.
Now, JP, I know you're a big Star Wars fan. For me, this whole issue feels like a Millennium Falcon struggling to get into hyperdrive fight. Did you get Star Wars vibes from this issue? Because it's like all self-contained almost, this story.
Right. And it's, and I love that Kitty's like trying to fix the ship. And it's like, and it's like, they're yelling at her through the thing. And yeah, you get a lot of that, like her trying to figure out. And her whole dialogue here of like, what am I doing? I'm a kid. I don't know how to fix anything.
Right. But she's got a communicator and she's talking to Lilandra and they're kind of walking her through it. But yeah, totally agree. Like there's the logic of sending the teenager to do this. I wouldn't send
the Brood are just like, oh, it's a youngling. Yeah, just shoot her.
Right. Candace is talking about how there's a lot of good Star Wars references in this omnibus. And because I think at the time, this is the the Star Wars movies were huge right then.
Well, this would have been just after 82. So this would have been
after the second one, not
after
the
Empire,
third one.
And Star Wars would have been as huge as it probably.
And with somebody of Kitty's age, it would have been a very referencey kind of thing for her, for sure.
For sure.
The Brood strikes back. There you go. Oh, so good. All right. Continuing on, it really goes out of control here for Carol. She's feeling overwhelmed, both with this Brood inside of her, but how it's affecting her like Kree genetic makeup. That she had lost her powers to Rogue, but that genetic makeup, as we learned in the previous issue, the Brood had figured that she was not pure human, just like she wasn't pure mutant. She was somewhere else. And the effect of the broodling inside of her is having such an impact that all of a sudden, as she is just overwhelmed with energy and power, Kitty fixes the warp drive and boom, the whole ship just blasts off. Justin, some amazing wild art going on here.
Oh yeah, and this is what gives me like the Phoenix Force vibes, right? Like seeing just the bright oranges, the yellows, knowing what Jean Grey had gone through, and obviously this is a different beast altogether. But yeah, love the effects here. Love the drawing at the very top next to you, John. Just everything else is like faded. The light, just her eyes are just white, and the detail of that. Even like I guess this like kind of almost devilish face that you see here next to me, like her face is being like stretched or pulled. And then I just love when they're shouting Kitty, and the light, the effect of that, of the ship and everything. Is so well done. It's really, really well done. So yeah, very cool set of panels altogether.
Yeah. It's a great page.
Sorry, go ahead, JP.
No, I was just going to say, it's a great page. I mean, you get I love the top panel where it's like washing out, where she's like, you see the confusion on her face and like the power is like coming out of her. And then, all the ships getting blasted, like the power is just going out in every direction. And
I forgot. Yeah, she doesn't have an egg. They took her because they had to do some experiments on her. And that's when Wolverine rescued her before they put the egg.
They got it. Right.
Sorry about that.
But Wolverine, I don't think they know that. Like, I don't think even Wolverine knows that. He just assumes that everybody has it as you get to the later part of the book. But
yeah.
And I love, and you want to talk about the Star Wars thing. It's totally like Kitty's like trying to fix it and it goes into warp. It's totally like the one part where they're trying to fix the hyperdrive and RT just rolls over and C-3 goes like, "What? You don't know how to fix the hyperdrive?" And he just turns it and they like
in Empire,
yeah, and at the end of Empire. So, but yeah, that's a great use of light and dark there in that last panel where they're escaping.
Yeah.
No.
Chet, you don't tell us what to do here. We can say them in the same sentence. Come on.
X-Men and Star Wars. X-Men and Star Wars. X-Men and Star Wars.
And shout out, yes, because Dave Cockrum, this is his final issue on the book. So obviously, definitely a little love deserving to go to him for certain. All right, so let's continue on now. We're back. We're having a meal in the mansion. Looks like Xavier's made some food. He and Ilyana Rasputin are talking, hanging out. She's a different person than we've known before. Xavier trying to get to know her, but noticing she's got some unusual sort of psychic shields up. He can't quite understand. But my question is, how do you know she's got those shields unless you're probing those shields? He says, quote, "A telepath should never indiscriminately mind scan people, especially those in his care."
Yes.
Bullcrap. I call bullcrap because you've done it before. You've done it.
He does it all the time. He does it constantly. And I love how the whole thing is she's like, it's like, before I could only speak Russian, and now I know English. And he's like, "Oh, I thought you wanted to sleep." Well, you had to go into her mind.
Yes.
It's all backwards. Yeah.
The hypocrisy of Professor Xavier knows no bounds.
And
so
creepy old guy probing young girl's mind, like, and he does this all the time. And it's just like, yeah.
You remember the early X-Men issue where he's like, "I'm still in love with Jean Grey, but I must keep it a secret."
Yeah, well, I know that.
Xavier. All right, Justin, tell me what you feel about this dinner scene.
Yeah, no, you guys make some really great points. The one thing I just want to add is I do appreciate these types of scenes where it's a little bit of a filler, these moments, and really have nothing to do with obviously everything else. But it's a nice break in the action and everything else, and kind of let the comic breathe a little. And then on top of that, for those who might be newer to the issue, kind of catching them up in a way that, well, hold on, like, who is this? Maybe it gets them to go back and read an issue prior, to figure out who, what did happen to Ilyana. But so yeah, I appreciate this. Maybe not 2 full pages worth, but
yeah,
still appreciate it.
I'm shocked by this ageism. That's so good. When he probes, it's for a good reason. I only used to speak Russian, but now I speak demonic. Krista, you're on fire tonight. I love it. She isn't wanting to share her emotional damage. And we definitely know she has some from her years spent in the underworld or whatever with the evil demon that was basically trying to corrupt her.
Well, and I just you talk about him being a hypocrite because he tells her that, and then 2 panels later, it's the whole, her thoughts are extraordinarily protected, which means he's probing her mind after he just told her that he wouldn't.
Exactly. You don't know that her mind is protected unless you're trying to penetrate the mind.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know this show you're talking about, but it sounds incredible, Adam. I will have to seek this out. I might not be able to read her mind, but soup is good for the soul.
There you go.
Yeah, there is some fun like creepiness to her face when we can see that definitely whatever happened to her in the underworld, there's going to be lasting impact and lasting information from this that will come out of it. So yeah, there's definitely mysteries there, and they obviously want to keep those mysteries alive, right?
Real quick, with the panel, I guess on the bottom to the far left, right next to Xavier thinking, or sorry, right, all the way the other way.
Okay.
At the bottom. I didn't watch the movie The Mutant. What is it, like Mutants or whatever?
Yeah,
New Mutants.
Yeah.
So, but it what's the girl's? Did she play Ileana? Was that the
Magic Magik is the code name that she'll later go by.
No, but the actress is it? What's her name? Anna Joy. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty accurate with that one panel.
Well, she's really good casting.
Yeah.
Good casting.
Yeah. It just caught my attention. I was like,
for Magic, she was excellent casting.
Yeah.
Is she wearing a Public Enemy necklace? I can't. I mean, it's impressive. It's big. It's big.
It's the Flavor Flav clock.
It's not a clock. Yeah, it's not a clock.
Good catch, Bobby.
Got it. All right, now we're back to the action. And this was one complaint I had, which is that like this pose that she's in here, it pales comparison to the cover. Like she just looks like she's like, what? I have magic now. I have power. What?
Her arms are in awkward places.
It's so casual.
Yeah.
Versus the cover that has her with all this amazing energy to it.
Right.
What are your thoughts here, Justin?
Yeah, no, I mean that's it definitely seemed a bit off. I feel like when I saw this first time through. But yeah, I mean still really cool just seeing the effects around her head and everything. Fire, her hair that's basically on fire. Really cool. Even like her, I guess like leggings that are on fire that come up and
they're basically boots. They're
near
like
her
full,
knees.
Thigh-high boots.
Yeah, like going to JP's point from earlier, we're talking about the cover. This is a really, really cool like kind of outfit, I guess, that they set up for her. Other than that, and that's supposed to be Kitty, right? That's Kitty she's
Kitty's still on the outside of the ship.
Knocked out.
We warped with her still on the outside.
Right. So and then the
What's
blue
up, Magic Lasso's in the chat.
Hey. And then the blue scenes, that's where they all are back inside, right? And that's where
so they're
kind of discussing.
The ship made it through to the other side of warp, but like didn't get far enough away. They just bought themselves a little time, and because of the overwhelming energy that Binary put out, the ship shut down, lost all power, and they don't even have life support. So they're starting to freeze and slowly die. And she's realizing that maybe her power might be the solution to the whole problem.
Yeah,
that's basically what this is.
I like how they're like, we need some sort of power, and Storm is like my lightning and Cyclops optic blast, and Carol's like, nowhere near even enough. And then she just like that whole scene is really cool, lighting up that like hallway, almost what it looks like on the bottom there.
Yeah. Bobby says, "Do they have casual Fridays in space?" This is a great joke. There are 10 types of people: those who understand binary and those who don't. Because it's 1-0, it's not 10. I like it. I love it.
Chris is on fire.
She's nailing it tonight. Lasso says, I remember this issue at the grocery store and not buying it. Then it took me decades to find it in the right condition and price.
Yeah.
Man.
But see, then it means a little something more, right?
True.
Anybody else have thoughts on this page here?
I will say, just like for me, I love the reveal of the costume, and then then you said something. I was like, yeah, her arms are really hard. It's like
the voice you gave, John, was like,
it's just so casual about the whole thing. But compared to the cover, where she's just like,
what is that like? Is this like European or something? I don't know what you're.
It's the casual. It's the casual French cover.
There it is
for this issue.
And then I will say, like in the blue, there, her face is really awkward.
Yeah.
Well, it looks almost sinister because it's hard to tell if she's like back to normal or if she's still like
right
because of the way it. Obviously, it's probably she's back to normal, but her hair is still like up and like clearly energized or whatever.
Yeah.
The way like their hair is going.
Well,
So
there's nobody comments about that, right? In the chat.
It's just a weird kind of look in that panel. But
Bobby's like, "Can you turn your hair down? It's kind of warm in here."
Yeah.
Joel the Geek says, "You have my axe and my bow and my flaming hair."
I also like Lilandra's details of her face there.
Yeah,
always like the eye makeup
eyes.
or whatever that. Yeah, really, really cool.
Great point, for sure. All right, so she's going to try to start the ship back up again with the power of her energy, and boom, she just lights the sucker up. But then at the same time feels like, oh my gosh, apparently I do have a peak to my powers. I'm done. And just basically collapses next to them. And then we realize that all the white parts of her suit are actually the suit, and that the red parts of the suit are not suit, they're just skin.
So she was just red.
FYI, that's a bikini.
Yeah.
With high heel boots.
Yeah.
For me though, it's about this panel right here, right?
Yes.
Like, come on.
Oh yeah.
Epic. The yellow, it's almost like sound waves. Like if you ever see like a chopped up sound wave, like everything about it, just beautiful.
JP, any thoughts on these pages here?
So just the question is, because she wasn't wearing anything like this, so did she just create this?
It's a good point. It's a good question.
Where did this costume come from that she's wearing?
Well, we do know that this pleasure craft can just like create different outfits. Yes, so maybe that's she was toying around with it like the kitty was,
And I do love the detail though of like, even though she's coming down, like her hair is still on fire. Like,
yeah.
Like,
so good. All right, well let's see what happens. We got the ship charged up. They're outside trying to fix it. She's flying around out there zapping it. Everybody's in their spacesuits. They're trying to help out. She's trying to decide like what does this power mean for me? Colossus is like, you should totally join the X-Men. We would be stoked to have you. And she's like, yeah, but no. I'm an outer space girl. I wanted to be an astronaut. I want to be out here in space. This taking care of mutants on Earth thing is for the birds. I'm not having it. Meanwhile, Nightcrawler is taking care of Kitty, who basically was a little somewhat injured from the EVA that she had done earlier. He checks her. He feels like, wow, she's fine. Let me go check on what's going on. And he goes to Cyclops and says, look, it's a little bit weird. She was basically dying a few days ago, and now she's all fine. Something is weird with her. I can't understand how she healed so quickly. That should not have happened. Yet again, adding questions for Cyclops to have to deal with. Thoughts on this, guys?
So one question. That Cyclops next to her in that top panel there, like in the suit.
Casual Cyclops?
Well, no, like where he's in the little bug suit where he's outside. He looks tiny. Like, how is that Cyclops in that suit?
No, that's Colossus.
That's Colossus in the suit.
That's what I mean. Sorry, Colossus.
Oh, yeah.
He looks tiny. He
does look tiny.
I get what you're saying. So the top middle, the one where she's blasting and he's
where she's blasting, and like at first I thought that was Kitty again.
Yes,
and then
you're right.
And I'm like, how is he in that suit?
Yeah. If he's in his full Colossus size, he should be massive. I agree. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't even think on that.
Yeah. And then I love the panel at the bottom there in the middle where her face is like different as she's like contemplating it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost giving you like, her like, who is Carol Danvers? Like, because she's lost so much of who she thought she was. She was this person, then she became Miss Marvel, and then she lost that, and now she's this, and she's like this whole, trying to figure out who she is and what she wants at this point. And I do think it's very effective, like the way they portray that there.
What's up, Comic Toby 420? Good to see you, sir. Chet also agrees. Lazy artwork on this tiny Colossus. Not feeling it. Justin, any thoughts on these pages?
Yeah. So even though, definitely questionable for that top panel for Colossus, but I do like the detail in the side of his face in the next panel. Yeah, I think that's really cool. I also like that she smirks and she says, "You invited me to join." How you say it, Tavarish? Which is like the cue of me like realizing it was Colossus to even like because you're right, because I did question. I'm like, wait, is Kitty back out there when I was first reading that? But I thought that was like clever, and you see her kind of have a smirk to it and be happy about it. But at the same time, JP, to your point, she's definitely feeling split, and you feel that emotion even just in that face. It's kind of like emotionless in a way, you know, very much like down and at the same time she's announcing herself as binary, which is, you know, it's cool that we're getting the name for the first time there.
Yep, official.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's continue on here, and we've got, this is what it's all about, the Cyclops Wolverine. I'm keeping a secret, but I'm not ready to tell you about it. I will say this page on the left is where it feels rushed to me. I don't know if you guys felt that way about this conversation, where it feels like I feel like I'm missing panels here. Yes. I don't know, Justin, did you? So what happens is Wolverine comes in. Cyclops is like, I want to understand. You're keeping secrets from me. You just want to kill all these guys. What's going on? And he's like, and Wolverine goes from like, we got to kill these guys to, I'm sorry, to talking him in a sarcasm way. This is what it goes down. He's like, I told you, Wolverine, X-Men don't kill. Want to bet? Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I guess all that's happened's driven me kind of buggy. You're right. What's there to get upset about? We escaped with our skins intact. Everything's hunky-dory. And then he just walks out. For me, it's like too many emotional notes in a row that aren't connected. Like, I can't follow it.
I think you're spot on. It was a little jarring to go from wanna bet to sorry. First of all, when does Wolverine ever say sorry? I don't know. I don't know. It's very rare.
The Cyclops.
Yes, and for it to be literally a panel to panel from Snicket and wanna bet to sorry, it was very jarring. And then to your point below there, the sarcasm with the flaming Dory thing, like that definitely was like are you sorry? And then you're not, like, now you're sarcastic, like, are you trying to start something with me here? Like, all within the, you know, yes, I agree. Like, you need more panels, I feel like.
So I know we make the joke out of me not liking Cyclops, but this is just like, he knows who Wolverine is, and like he comes on like getting aggressive and like, tell me now, you know, it's never going to work with Logan. Like,
never.
It's just such bad strategy for trying to like figure out what's going on with him. First of all, it probably shouldn't come from him. He should be sending Kurt to talk to him, like, because he knows like they're, you know, all the time. And you had the hypocrite stuff over there. He's kept so many secrets from them for like constantly that like he's really got no room to talk.
Well, the next page for me is just as bad because Storm tries to use her powers. She's feeling a weird disconnect inside of her. Pain in her stomach. She collapses. He runs to her. She says, leave me be, Scott. I beg you. I'm uninjured and I would really rather be left alone. And he says, no dice. That's my riff. As in, like, I get to be alone whenever I choose to pout about it, but you can't.
See,
and I'm like,
I don't like him.
You know how hypocritical you are, but you're still going to do it? He's calling out his own hypocrisy while he's talking to her. What?
Yeah.
That was the line where I was like, wait, what?
No dice.
You have the self-awareness, but you're not going to make any change.
Well, like he and the whole thing is how he handles it. Like, his last point is he makes a reasonable point. Like, something's going on. It's tearing us up. We need to talk about this. But the whole way he goes about it is not getting people to like open up. It's like putting up walls.
Yeah.
Right. He's like trying to force his way through instead of like being, you know, I don't know. It's just like
attitude reflects leadership.
Yeah. His attitude is all wrong about trying to get something out of these people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, Storm does she hits that ground hard. But she's crying. You can see her crying. I'll go to the next. Justin, do you have anything to say? The next page is more of this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Storm is upset.
Yeah.
She's feeling like she's got her disconnect from nature and earth and humanity. So she feels like that's what's affecting her power. She can't figure out like what's wrong inside. So she decides to like concentrate on it, to like think about what's going on inside. And she's like, it's so obvious. Something I never considered it. I sense a life inside of me, a child, but how can this be? I must probe deeper. Where did it come from? My little one, who? And then she screams, no, goddess. And then she blasts Cyclops away, slams the doors. Apparently she's been in an escape pod this entire time. I didn't know that. She blasts off an escape pod. She's gone. Like in 3 panels, she goes from in pain and screaming to flying away.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Justin, that's the end of this scene.
Yeah, like trying to cope with her, like, or trying to you know, empathize with understanding like how I mean, one, I don't like, I never like seeing Storm crying. It's not a good scene. But clearly she is being torn apart here with how she feels. She knows something is wrong. Seeing her eyes light up like that at the screaming goddess, I love that panel. Like such a powerful, panel. And then we get to see Cyclops get tossed out, which is always entertaining to see. And then to see her fly off, I was a little confused by that as well, because I thought she was in like a room. And so that I thought
she was just walking through the ship or somewhere.
Yeah. So I actually questioned, like, did she just kick him out of the whole ship and he's out of the, like, is that little thing the big, the pleasure craft that's like flying away right now? So I was, kind of questioning that for a second as to what happened. But didn't expect the single ship, the pod to be what
Bobby says. It's good these spaceships are really intuitive to pilot. Like, they're really easy. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it.
I will say the one thing I found weird, like Justin talked about, like, what is with like I almost think like Kirby like art around her eyes. What is going on? Like if I like
the crackle.
The crackle going on, like what is like?
I love it. I don't know what it means.
I don't either. It was just kind of weird. I was like,
it is like Kirby
red and black eyes.
You're right. Yeah,
like Kirby crackle going on around her eyes. I don't understand.
She's an Eternal now.
Oh no!
Please it's like Dark Side or something. There you go.
She's Dark Side. Yes.
Dark Side eyes.
She's got to find one of those mother boxes. Oh no! Wait, we just learned she's got a child in her. She is the mother box. All right. Moving on to the final pages. This is when she's gone. They're like, she left her clothes. I don't know why. But
the clothes?
I don't know. She left her costume behind.
Always like randomly changing clothes.
And I love that now it's like, okay, talk. And Wolverine's like, yeah, you're right. I should have told you this. It was like, what?
It all just spilled out.
He's like, I should tell you everything. And look at all the faces across the bottom where they're all like, are you crapping me? You've been keeping this from me? He's like, yeah. But I think we got some things to do here. Like, of course, the revelation that they're all like impregnated does not go over well with Binary, who basically just says the same thing that Storm did, but without a pod to go off in. She blasts a hole in the side of the ship, and she's like, "I'm gone." And she goes flying off out of the ship, and they're all sucked out into the vacuum of space. Yes, she does. Cliffhanger, JP?
A little bit. So I do want to talk a little bit about her reaction, though.
Who?
Because I think the pure rage, and if I'm wrong about this, then it doesn't make as much sense. But I believe this is not long after the whole gave birth to her own son. Like
it isn't, yeah.
And so, like when he tells her that she's been forcibly impregnated against her will again, which because he doesn't know that she, like you said, she isn't actually.
Yeah.
Like her pure rage in that moment of having is totally justified.
Oh, totally.
And I felt like earlier, like I almost told you to do it because you have Top Gun at the top, and the only thing I could think of was like her reaction is, "I want some butts, I want them now." And then if you remember that whole scene, like when he comes out, he like runs into the guy and he's like gets coffee spilled on him again. He's like, "Damn it, that's twice!" So it's like he's going to like annihilate the Brood right now.
Well, legally, as Justin's partner, I'm required to have a Maverick picture in every single episode.
At least
like,
one.
I have to have something
signed contract.
Yeah, it's in there. It's in there.
So I just think her reaction is so like the difference between Storm is like pure devastation, whereas her reaction is pure rage.
Right,
and it's because she's already gone through this, like been used in this way before, and and then of course everybody else is like, "Whoa!"
Just sucked out into space. Done.
Like, can you breathe in the vacuum of space? No.
Justin, any thoughts here on the ending to this issue?
Yeah, like I love the panels of their faces as he's explaining more and more of the
Colossus,
story.
right? That fist.
Yeah, like they're just so they're like, wait a second, what? Like Nightcrawler's hands.
He's crying, man.
He's like devastated. I like that they took the time to like kind of panel each of those. It is funny that he just kind of gave in and was just like, let me just
Kirk giving JP props. Yeah, right.
And then I didn't notice the Storm clothing thing at first until you guys pointed that out.
Well, he said Cyclops says it like he left. What does he say? I'll read it. The thing he says she went berserk, took a spaceship, blasted off. But why did she leave her costume behind?
We have naked Storm in a spaceship.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it. I just think it's a great. The way he says it, it made me laugh. Like he's like, but why did she leave her costume behind?
Yeah,
I don't know. That much wind just blasts it off.
Maybe that could be. The other thing is to JP, what you were saying before. So this issue, what, it was 82? You said, JP, or what year was this
on the slab? What year? 82. Yeah.
So when did issue, or I should just look it up, Avengers 200? Because I know we talked a little bit about this last time, John, but was it around the same time?
I want to say it happened between the end of the Miss Marvel run and the binary story. So in between those two, the writers were using her in the Avengers, and it got
1980. So yeah.
Okay. So yeah, 2 years after. Okay. Yeah. So I was just wondering if it was like right. Okay. So it did tie. Okay. Yeah. So no, that's really interesting. To your point, JP, just like thinking back to the knowing what she's kind of.
I mean, they don't specifically say it, but that's all I could think about here was like when you see the way she reacts, because everyone else is like sad and like just distraught, and hers is just rage. Like the face in her corner there is she's going full binary. It's just like pure rage, and who could blame her? Like if you actually know the background.
Yep. So it's like a Jerry Springer episode. That's why I had to have the brawl there.
And I love how he's like, they can be nasty or whatever. She's like, they don't know the meaning.
Right? They're gonna learn.
Which made me just think of the whole, I want some bucks.
Funny. JP's up so into it. I love it. All right. So I wanted to include this comment. At the last second, I told Justin I was rushing out because I'd read the letters at the end of this issue. And this one says, editors, can the Shi'ar pronounce their names without apostrophes? It must be a genetic defect. And they've got apostrophes all through their letters. And the reply from the editor is the same. Sounds good to us with that apostrophes.
That is so great.
I freaking love it.
Yeah, wow.
I was reading them before we went live with JP, and I was like, oh my God, I have to include this. So I couldn't find a digital version, so I just
took a picture.
I snapped a photo and emailed it to myself so I could load it in.
It totally works.
Yes.
Totally works.
Chode.
Good catch, man. I really got to take some time and read some of the X-Men.
I read they were pretty interesting. Yeah. Mostly they were science based in this issue. People were talking about issue 157, I believe, and talking about how Nightcrawler's power works, about how Colossus says he's the Russian to go furthest into outer space, and things like that. There were a lot of science discussions, which is cool.
Yeah. But this makes it worth it, though, right here.
Yeah, right. What is up, Ian from Tacoma Comics? Good to see you, brother. Tacoma. Anyways, I thought I would include it. Always got to have a little chode in there if you can.
Totally.
Let's get into the facts here. There is two 299s on the CGC census. Last sold $1,195. I have a feeling that's a little low. Could be a lot higher. JP, you got your 9.8. Fair market value $200, but that's without the signature. I have a feeling that's a little low too, but we'll see. Facts. This is the first appearance of Carol Danvers as Binary. This is David Cockrum's final issue. It's the first appearance of the Brood fleet with the little shark ships. And Wolverine proves why he is not the leader of the X-Men.
I would argue Cyclops proves why he shouldn't be the leader of the
X-Men. That's fair.
Of course, he's done that repeatedly. But.
Right. Any final thoughts here, guys? Should I get rid of this, or do you have thoughts on this stuff before we get into the grades?
Yeah, the one thing here, I did not realize that this is Cockrum's final issue on X-Men. That's really sad.
He never came back and did any other work on the main run.
Right. So I mean,
I never realized that either.
Yeah, like I'd love to look back at like more of his work to see where he went from here. I assume he continued working on other runs or other series, but like love Cockrum's work, man. I think saying what I was saying before, like with the covers, like this is one of the last ones that really stand out to me compared to what I feel like the rest kind of blend, or they just don't I don't know, have that same effect, you know, at least not in the next, I don't know, couple 20, 30 issues or whatever,
right.
you know, compared to what we've been seeing, which I've been enjoying. And not to say 165 looks really cool too, but anyways, I didn't realize that this is the final one, so something extra special to add.
Yeah,
for this,
for sure. JP, any final thoughts on at least on this information here?
No, it's just, you know, it's a popular book. Carol's went through several forms. I think this is one of the more popular ones, even though it's one that lasts kind of the shortest term, even though it's kind of she's always kind of still been able to sort of go this mode if she wanted to. She just doesn't really go that far, or has better control, I guess, now. But yeah, it's a great cover. It's a great issue. Obviously, I'm a big fan of the issue.
Yeah.
But yeah. So,
well, let me stop sharing here, and we'll get into some of the thoughts overall. Now that we've kind of gone through the whole issue, Justin, how would you grade, or what were your final thoughts here on issue 164?
Yeah, so I mean, I really enjoyed it overall. I feel like talking about it even more so, and hearing, you know, your guys kind of angle at some stuff. There was definitely some things I missed first time around with this. I think it bumps it for me. So I think I was looking at this to be like an 8 to an 8.5. I think I'm looking more at like a 9 to a 9.2 on how much I've, you know, enjoyed this, and yeah, a lot of significance to the character of Danvers, and just knowing more about binary. Like, it's all new to me. So, you know, kind of still learning as I go, but and then also just like, yeah, I really like the artwork in this one. This was great. I feel like some of it in the recent, you know, issues we've covered has been a little hit or miss. There have been parts, but overall, like the epicness of, you know, some of those binary moments, I guess, and even some other like close-ups of the faces of some of the other characters, it was all really well done. So yeah, this is a great issue, and I would like to get a 9.8. I think that this is definitely worth, I mean, you know, the cover being what it is, and obviously just the significance of the story, and totally, you know, just being a great read. So yeah.
JP, Cyclops fanboy, what are your thoughts here on this overall?
I feel like this issue has almost everything you would want from an X-Men issue. I mean, you got epic kind of space battles, which is so weird that they're so often in space, but they are. You know, you have epic space battle at the beginning. You talked about the fact that you don't get Phoenix, but you kind of get a lot of the Phoenix power vibes from Carol being binary. You get Cyclops and Wolverine being jerks to each other. You get some emotional responses, and like with Storm figuring out what's going on, and everybody's reaction to like the news Wolverine gets them. So I feel like it touches a lot of bases. You get creepy Professor X, you know, you get all of the things you think of when you think X-Men. And so, yeah, I would probably put it, you know, maybe as high as a 9.4. That 9.2, 9.4 is kind of range. It's not a perfect issue, but it is a really good, it's a lot of fun. And I feel like it's, you know, and it definitely like advances some stuff that's been going on, and it's, you know, it sets up, and it has a nice cliffhanger kind of ending to set up the next issue and draw you back in. So it does a lot of the things that you want from a comic issue.
Yeah, absolutely. Joel has a great comment. There should be a Funko binary. Yes, I would get that Funko. I would buy that Funko.
Great idea.
Paul, Jackson McCurk saying Paul Smith is coming up next, and he likes him, but he feels like we don't get great X-Men art for quite a few years until June. I don't know that I feel that way, but I get what you're saying. For me, yeah. I had not read this issue in a little while, and I skimmed it to like make the slideshow, and I was like, God, it seems like it's just kind of scatterbrained. I don't know that I like it as much. But then when I sat down and read panel to panel, there's so much like it's not as choppy as the previous issue that we talked a lot about missing stuff. Like it felt like it was just rushed. I didn't feel like this one suffered the same way. And I think partly it's just because you got to read every single word because stuff is happening. Yeah. You won't know that that's Peter in the EVA suit unless you read certain things. You won't know that Storm's costume fell on the ground if you don't read these. So if you don't zoom in, I think it's an issue that you could read quickly and not get as much out of. But I think it rewards that reading. So I think in that way, I enjoyed it a lot more getting through it. I ended up reading it almost 3 times for tonight. And each time I liked it a little more. So I'll finish in the 9.0, 9.2 range as well. Yep. I think it was a lot of fun. Some of the pages, that opening splash page, mind-blowingly good. And a solid send-off to somebody like Dave Cockrum, who's clearly left a major thumbprint on X-Men.
Yeah, and there's a really nice splash page. If you think about that first one, you think about the one where she's using her power and the thing, and there's some great panels in there.
Yeah. JRK is completely correct on the art, says Chet. So good. Okay, so thank you everyone for hanging out with us to the end. We're not quite done yet because we're entering the trivia portion of the show. This is when
I'm so disappointed. We're not even going to go like 2 hours. What the heck?
I know.
It's going to be a short
episode. Can I just tell you, like, I'm staring.
Kick me off early.
I stare at the clock like literally like 7 minutes ago. We're at like not even 10 o'clock. I'm like, how does John get it wrapped up like this? It's like 10 o'clock. Like,
I needed to make sure we were done early so that JP felt like, what the heck? I got short shrifted for like 30 minutes on this show. It's ridiculous. I finally get my shot and they're cutting me to 45. What the heck?
JP, you got to come back when it's on my channel because I'll be there for 2 hours. So.
But I won't get to bed till like 3 in. But
yeah. Get some coffee.
God. So good. Oh, it's so good. I love it. Yeah. So we're at the trivia portion at the end of the show.
Yes.
The idea is Justin and I each have 2 questions apiece and that we're going to ask you about the previous issue and episode. So we were over on Justin's channel reading issue 163. If you have it out in front of you, if you got your omnibus out in front of you, you can follow along and try to get the correct answers to our trivia questions there. If you watched last week, you might also have some correct answers because you were there. Our guest, Read Your Comics, Daryl, not in the chat, so he doesn't have that. You don't have to worry about going against them. You don't have that benefit to deal with tonight. Remember, we look for the first 2 correct answers. You can copy and paste. If you feel like Chet got the correct answer, copy and paste it, put it in. You might be the second correct answer. Both of those people will get it.
Chet, though, make sure you spell it right because he's probably got it wrong.
Right. So maybe not copy and paste, but type it correctly.
Type it correctly, and then you'll be the first right answer.
And then you'll be the first right. There you go.
That won't get any
great advice.
And then we also reward each question with the funniest answer. And JP's going to be watching, and he's going to pick one that is the best comedy answer each time around. All right, here we go. Justin, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. My first question is, while Scott wanted to save Lilandra and escape, what did Wolverine want to accomplish before he left in last issue? The team was all together. They had a plan set. They kind of divided, but Scott wanted to save Lilandra and then escape. But Wolverine had other plans. He wanted to do something before they left. What was that thing that Wolverine wanted to accomplish before they were heading out? A lot of stuff happened there in that issue. A lot of back and forth as we discussed.
The last 2 issues I think have been real great action packed. Actually 3. I think we've had 3 in a row. Just action packed stuff.
I was gonna also say with the Brood, I did not know that the Brood storyline went this long. I think was it last one of our guests said last couple issues said like it went pretty long. The Brood,
I love JP's reading chat, struggling to type. Chat has typed 3 times, and I don't know that any of it makes a whole lot of sense. I'm enjoying it as well. It's really impressive. But then Tacoma Comics is right there as well. Very entertaining. I'm gonna go with the first for sure comedy answer that I know we've got. Whoops, sorry. Krista Simon saying he wanted to get some Brood brews.
Ooh, they probably got some good stuff there.
Candace says he wanted to use the toilet because it's a long way home.
Long way home from that,
Go before you go. He wanted to visit Bed Bath and Infinity and Beyond. I think Justin's about to say, I'm going to steal the words for him. I only see one correct answer, which is hilarious to me.
Come on, chat.
There's only one correct answer.
Everyone's been close, but there's only one correct answer.
I just pictured chat like this, like
I actually feel like the comedy answer, like I'm wondering if it should be Chet just for his inability to the comedy for us, but
he's like
it's not intentional comedy.
This one's hilarious. Our the Queen.
Our the Queen. But I love how he tries to fix it, and then it's O-R.
It's just or exclamation. It's or. I see him screaming at his phone. Is what I see. That's what I see.
Oh, I see one. So
okay, so are we counting Bobby as the second correct answer?
I feel like Bobby's the second one. So
the first correct answer I saw was definitely Old Wolf.
Yeah.
Oh my God, my stomach's killing me. The ore.
And I think JP is saying that the best comedy answer is just or with an exclamation mark.
I feel like that gave the most entertainment. I feel bad for Candace because I think she would have won if not for Chet's inability to like use a computer, but we're going with Chet's inability to use the computer.
All right, so Chet still gets a point even though he couldn't get his answer correct.
That's the best thing is that Chet is genuinely trying to get the correct answer. Oh, I'm like crying right now.
We try
Oh
we try to have some fun. Wolverine wanted to get his claws done, says Ian. Little Manny Patty. Give Candace, throw Candace a bone.
I didn't see what did Candace say? Yeah,
she said the toilet.
Oh wait, you gotta go you gotta go before you leave.
We're
stopping.
I don't have Candace on here, so I'm definitely adding Candace.
Candace
what?
Yeah.
No way. All right,
Candace, you're on it.
Give Candace that point.
All right, nice.
All right. So my first question is, Kitty is being chased by a brood in the last issue. In fact, the cover is her like crouching in fear from the brood. And what movie seems to inspire the solution that she takes in solving this brood chasing her? What movie seems to be the inspiration for her solution? A lot of ways to go with this comedy answer. I'm expecting some funny movies.
Chet said a bunt base hit. Yeah, exactly. Chet with your answers.
No, he got hit by that pitch.
You got hit by the pitch.
Krista Simon with the first correct answer, and Chet spelled alien correctly.
Wow,
so Chet does get the second one. I don't know what this is. Elaine's. Look at Justin. He's listening. He's gonna spit up his
Do these people learn to type from me? I don't know.
Elaine's.
This is not good. I got comics all over here too. Dangerous. That was close.
Oh
my God.
All right, I'm waiting for some funny. Let's see some.
All right, so funny movie answers. First one is Predator 2.
Predator 2. Okay.
Second is Enter the Dragon. Ian says Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Bobby says Taxi Driver. Alanis. That is a documentary about Alanis Morissette.
I don't know.
The Godfather Part 3. We're looking for movies that inspired Kitty Pryde's solution to being fought by a brood. And it's House Party 2. Not the first one. The second House Party. Way better. Nightmare on Elm Street.
You know, John, I heard you often say that the sequels are never better, but House Party 2.
House Party 2 is really good. You're right. Archie versus Predator. I need that movie.
Yeah.
Home Alone 2.
Classic.
The Gods Must Be Crazy. Classic. Stella. Rocky yelling, Elaine. Hey. We should hang out and ride skateboard.
Oh my God.
All right, JP. Which movie is the correct answer?
I like the Rocky yelling Elaine.
Is that what you want?
Sony.
All right, Rocky.
That was great.
There you go, Old Wolf.
All right, we're definitely the Rocky.
I'm not taking another sip the rest of the night.
He's got his workout, his ab workout for the night. All right, second question from Justin.
Yes, my second one is, what did Havoc do when he came back to the mansion with his dad to meet up with Lorna? They had returned from space, him and Corsair, and Lorna runs up and greets them, and immediately Havoc he expresses himself with what is happening, what has currently happened to his team and his brother. And Havoc does something. What is it that he does to kind of express himself in that moment last issue. This was kind of a side part of the issue, not really.
Bobby's still answering the last question.
Now that would have won. He was just too late. I actually had that on VHS when I was a kid and watched it all the time.
House Party. I would have picked House Party too. That's a hilarious answer from Bobby.
Yeah.
That was a good play.
I don't know. I just like Old Wolf taking advantage of his typo.
All right. I see two that I think might be correct.
Yeah, me too. Okay. I saw Tony first. Yeah, zapped a pile of wood. That's accurate. And then Chet with the blast wood beams. Yes,
blast wood beams.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lauren's like, hey, how's it going? He's like, not good. Like, just like fires away.
Like blow stuff up. Okay.
Does he snuggle up on the couch with a movie and some hot cocoa? He sits down and takes a deep breath.
Yeah, no, he did not. Like the opposite.
Yeah. He paints a Bob Ross painting. Happy trees.
We're gonna lead her in the clubhouse. We'll see where we go.
He cooked dinner. We're wearing an apron. That was earlier. That was another issue, though.
Good. He did do that.
It's a great fact.
Good callback. Yeah.
She tells Havoc she graduated with her PhD and he cried. I wouldn't be surprised. That's how Summers would react.
It is how Summers
puts on his chef hat and made dinner. Look, there's two people thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
He started reading from the book. The good book.
Wait, a Summers can read?
Oh, he didn't learn from his brother who blasted a monument on the mansion at the back in issue 96 and caused a lot of havoc. Or was it in issue 97? Somewhere.
Oh yeah, 97.
Blast food beans. Plays baby shark in prep for this week's issue.
Baby shark.
Let's paint some happy little house over here and blow it up. There you go.
All right. I like Jackson's, but it's completely inspired by Big O's. Because without Big O, I don't think Jackson comes up with that. So you gotta go with Big O.
There you go. And that's Paul's first one.
Nice.
There you go, Big O on the board.
Where's the boy who had 7? Where he's at?
I don't know, man.
Thought he was gonna squeak in there.
He's gonna get in here. He's got to get in here. My last question and the last question of the night here. For this one, you had to either be able to guess or saw last week's episode, and Justin and myself and Daryl from Read Your Comics all picked a different object, and I'll take any one of them as the correct answer. Carol picks up a brood weapon. They're very unusual looking, and each one of us compared it to something different. What did we say that the brood's weapon looked like? So there's 3 possible answers here. Any of them are correct. I sent all of them to Justin because I rewatched the episode to hear our initial reactions. What's that?
Old Wolf first.
The typing's always good.
A jackhammer. A jackhammer.
Oh, there he did it. He did it. The boy who had 7 got in there. Copy and paste. He did it.
Go, Matt.
So he got it. He got his point. He's on the board. And so is the jackhammer. It's the French version. Jackhammer. Candace, super close. Close. It does not look like a pipe wrench. So I said jackhammer. Justin said it was an AK-47, and Daryl compared it to a divining rod you'd use to find water in Australia somewhere. Other people are saying pipe wrench. A batlet. Is that those tiny little bats? Is that what those are?
I don't know.
Tony says it also looked like a thigh master. All right.
We need some more comedy here. Let's go. Come on.
Big O says it looked like a Bowflex.
There you go. Kind of good.
He gave us the German Jackhammer. It looked like the Sword of Omens. I don't know what that is. Did someone say Australia? Mark's here. Hey, Mark, I said Australia. He magically appeared. Good day. Good evening to you. All right. So what else? What else did the brood's weapon?
Come on, wait, we need some more humor here. There's so many options because I think you guys were all being rather clean with your.
Yes, we were pretty clean on our show. It looks like a comic community award. There you go. It looked like a boot. It was like a boot.
I don't know where Bobby's going with the next one.
It looks like Betty White on crack.
I don't even know what that.
That's so
random.
So this
I
is
mean, it is. It's different.
the
Yeah,
kind of the. If people were wondering, that's
there
kind of what we're talking about here.
That thing.
That thing. Ted's going where I've expected everyone to go. Finally.
Okay, so there you go. Old Wolf. I'm not going to highlight it, but there you go. There's the answer that JP was going for.
Ted got there first. Is
see this I can actually click on.
Advanced age.
Part of the pleasure craft.
On the pleasure.
Yes, yeah.
They keep it on the pleasure craft.
The pleasure craft.
They bring it on
I
there.
think we're gonna go with Ted on this one.
All right, there you go.
By the way, I don't know. I don't get how Chet could spell that whole sentence out correctly.
Yeah,
right. Holy cow! There's a lot of big words in
and
there.
then he messes up with kill the queen.
He couldn't spell or.
Or
He can spell everything in that other sentence, but he couldn't spell or.
I feel like or has got to make like the finale of the season.
Oh,
We're not.
we're definitely highlighting that.
Man, spell check is screwing you up.
It's like the Rachel Dinners thing. Like that just set the pace last season. Rachel Dinners was.
I mean, right? It's just whenever we need to curse something from now on, it's just
I'm pretty sure my answer for every question going forward the rest of the season is just or with an exclamation.
Yes.
What is up, Scott? What is going on, my man? Thanks for coming by and saying hi, hitting the like button and rolling through. I appreciate it, man.
Candace said he used Grammarly. Yeah.
So, as a reminder, we do this every week as much as we can. We're back on Justin's channel next week for issue 165 with that amazing Storm morphing into a Brood cover that Justin held up earlier. Right there. Yeah. So we'll be back for that next week. So definitely click the link and subscribe over there. I got JP's links down below as well, so you can sub everybody up and check it all out. I've been posting a ton of shorts on my channel here. So if you missed out on them, I made a little playlist of catching people up for Sins of Sinister. A bunch of things that, like, can I explain House of X in 60 seconds? Can I explain Mr. Sinister in 60 seconds? Give it a try. Check it out. Let me know what you think. If there's one that you want me to do, also drop me that information because there's a few that I'm looking to do based on questions I've been getting. So some fun stuff for sure. Nice. We'll be back next week on Justin's channel. I'm on JP's channel Thursday talking about the righteous thirst for vengeance.
Oh, nice.
So if you want to hear some really graphic stuff that you won't normally hear on my channel, subscribe to his channel Thursday night. And I forced White Whale Comics to go over there and talk about it. So be ready for that.
Oh, nice.
Justin, you got anything coming up you want people to know about?
No, I'll be traveling to Dallas tomorrow. So I'm kind of, I'll have some things to post, but no crazy content coming up. But I like Jackson Roy Kirk said, top 5 funniest shows tonight. I could not agree more, man. I'm like crying over here. I need
3 seasons.
yeah. We
right.
All right, JP's on every show from now on.
Maddie, thanks for coming by, buddy. I know how super busy you are with family and life and fellowship and everything, so I appreciate it, brother. And you got your one. You're on the board. Buckle up for June. So that's it, everybody. Thanks so much for coming. We hope to see you guys back on Justin's channel next week. Until then, peace.
Later.